Hello, everyone. We're back with another LMScast episode, and today we're talking about video hosting and specifically how to use video hosting in your WordPress LMS. I am Joshua Millage. I'm joined with Christopher Badgett. And Chris, help me answer this question, man. How do we host video in our LMS systems?
It's a great question. There's so many options out there, and there's a couple landmines you want to avoid when you start working with video on a website. So to go directly to the answer of like how to use video in your WordPress LMS system, I would say the best thing you can do is use a Vimeo or Wistia paid video hosting account. What those usually work out to something like a couple $100 a year,
Mm-hmm.
and with like a certain amount of terabyte of videos or whatever.
Why? I don't understand. Why can't I just use YouTube?
That's a great question. And that's when people start out, they first start trying to do it at YouTube, and you think you're kind of clever when you're like, oh, I'm going to unlist it on YouTube so people can't find it. Then I'll embed it in your site, which you can do, and I do recommend that if you're going for the absolute cheapest possible way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But what ends up happening is people can share your videos. They can, if somebody gets a hold of the link, they can put it somewhere else and embed it somewhere else and so on.
Right.
So it's really, if you want to be pro and you want to charge premium pricing, you need to have premium video hosting. And if you don't want your site to slow down or have to spend a crazy amount of money on your web hosting plan or on a development team to create a responsive, mobile-friendly video player for your lessons,
Mm-hmm.
you just want to use one of the premium video hosting services. You can embed the videos right in your lessons, and you can also restrict it and say, only allow these videos to be played on my website. And now you're protected, they're fast, they're mobile responsive, and they work great.
That's awesome. And so when you grab like the video, you've uploaded it to the system, like how do I get it into the LMS system? Like, what do I do?
Well, there's different ways to do it. With LifterLMS, the WordPress learning management system plugin that we created, we actually have a featured media box where you can drop in Vimeo or Wistia or YouTube embed code, and it'll automatically put that video at the top of the lesson. But you can also just put it at the top of the lesson. And when I say put it, what you're doing is you're embedding it. So when you go to one of these hosts like Vimeo or Wistia or YouTube, they have a share button, and you can grab what you're going for is the embed code. Now there's a nuance there. With certain really popular services like YouTube and even Vimeo Pro, there's a new thing that's happening inside of WordPress itself called Embed, where all you have to do is you have to put the video link, the URL, and it'll take care of all of it for you. Put it in there, put it inside the container you put it in or the column or whatever, and then it'll compress nicely on mobile devices and so on. That's not available for Wistia. So if you go to Wistia, you just want to grab the Wistia embed code, and they actually give you all these different types of embed code options from Wistia, like iframe and this other thing called video foam. So what you actually need if you are a Wistia user is you want the iframe embed code, and you want the video foam option turned on, which helps with the mobile responsiveness.
Wow, that's helpful, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this is like kind of a punchy, quick hit video. I mean, because I think, this is a question that a lot of people ask, and you just kind of dialed that all in for me. So I've learned a lot. Is there anything in closing that you'd want people to understand about video?
Sure. Two final points is that video is the closest thing we have in an online learning environment to like a real human interaction, because you kind of get that audio and visual element. So
Right.
you can charge more for it. Your people build rapport and trust quicker with it. So that's one thing. I encourage people to use video in their LMS. And the other thing is there's always especially if you're a first time getting used to being on camera, there's often this fear of being on video that's important just to get over and get past, or that fear sometimes gets assigned to, oh, I got to have the perfect video set up with perfect lighting and so on, or perfect sound. So just get started. It's just natural. Everybody goes through it. Oh, I'm going to put my face on there and all this stuff. But once you get through it and you open the door to what's possible with video, the connections you can have with your community can be profound.
That's awesome. Great tips for today, Chris. Thank you so much, man. And until next episode, we'll talk to y'all soon.